I joked with someone that if I wrote and illustrated a children's book, as she has done, I'd scare them. And she encouraged me to do it anyway. So, maybe I'll do that. So what if the ending isn't, and they lived happily ever after? Or even, and they lived.
Wait, what? Is this in my contract?
You don't even have a contract. Because you aren't even a real boy. You are an allegory.
Who are you calling an allegory? What are you, an alligator?
I ain't no alligator. Do I look like an alligator?
You look like a pancake.
Boys,
with no
boys, go to your rooms.
Oh, man.
Fair.
Now.
Who started it?
I did not start it.
Go on, Brian. Sorry about that.
So, as I was saying before, being interrupted by my virtual voice actors, I owe this trip into storybook writing and illustration to Chikako Ogawa, who, she does some beautiful, fun, and very whimsical illustrations, and also happens to be 100% encouraging. I'll link to her channel in the description because you'll want to check it out for yourself. But for now, a children's book for adults, more in the spirit of the Grimm brothers, Edward Gorey, and maybe even a little bit of Mark Twain. Well, we'll see what you think about it.
The grove of English walnut trees gave Oliver Goodman a heap of beautiful nuts, which he carried in a metal bucket with quite a large grin on his face. Granny made a delicious walnut pie in the autumn, and Ollie was eager to put that notion in motion. 100 steps, more or less, crunched beneath Ollie's feet in the direction he thought would be a shortcut to Granny's house.
Kind sir, could I trouble you for a walnut?
Ollie turned his bespectacled head toward the sound of the voice and saw a shadowy figure. Although Ollie did not consider himself a sir, being just barely tall enough to carry the bucket off the ground, he was certain the voice was calling to him. After all, who else had a bounty of walnuts in this empty field? And if one thing was true of Ollie Goodman, it was that he was true to about half of his name. All good. In time, he would be true to an additional portion. Without so much as a moment's hesitation, Ollie walked toward the shadow with a
"Why, of course,"
passing by his tongue. By the time those words reached its large ears, the shadow had stepped out into the twilight and revealed itself to be a creature the boy had never seen nor imagined before. It was what looked like a pale, gaunt skull of a face hanging low from a goat-like body, ribs showing sharply carved.
Goodness, you're starving. Please, take the whole bucket, and I can gather even more.
The boy was, indeed, all good,
Much obliged, kind sir.
countered the caprine creature as he grabbed a freshly picked wallet from the boy's outstretched hand. Ollie noticed that the hairy arms of the creature were fitted with rusty manacles and chains secured to eyelets in 2 submerged rocks. With some struggle, the creature fumbled with the shell with its clumsy hoofed appendages. To the ground, the nut plopped with a small puff of dust. Inducing a slight creak in its back, the thin figure picked the nut up from the dirt, only to fumble it again. In a third attempt, the creature attempted and failed to crack the shell with a mouth that appeared to be more gum than tooth.
1,000 pardons, kind sir. I seem to be missing the dental necessities.
I could stomp on one.
Ollie offered.
It wouldn't be very difficult.
So true, kind sir, but I do enjoy the crunch.
The prisoner interjected, speaking over the boy. For the first time, there seemed to be a spark of energy in the poor creature,
Oh, how I used to crunch.
Why do you have the chains?
Ollie asked.
Well, I suppose it is because I enjoyed crunching too much.
Ollie considered this a moment and became righteously indignant.
But these wallets belong to everyone. Why would anyone mind? That ruffles my feathers.
The goat stuttered a moment and paused.
Yes, walnuts. Oh, indeed, those crunchy walnuts. It is hard to believe people would mind, is it not, kind sir? My teeth removed and chained here to calm such, misguided fears.
Almost animated now, the hairy creature seemed to have stumbled upon a brilliant idea.
Say, you could help me, kind sir, to crunch once again. Walnuts, of course.
Anything. What can I do?
Oliver Goodman was determined to make things right.
Do you see the little holes here, kind sir?
The mouth of the creature opened, and it pointed at a series of voids in its gums.
I do believe that if we were able to put some sharp stones in those holes, I may be able to fully enjoy the crunch of your walnut harvest.
This was the only statement that needed to be made to set Ollie to the task of gathering a handful of rocks.
Sharp ones, please.
Oliver Goodman picked up and inspected a good number of rocks for size and sharpness, and feeling confident in his haul, presented them to the nearly toothless skull-headed goat.
These will do most wonderfully, I expect. Could you insert one here and here?
The creature gave the boy instructions for each sharp stone, with the 4 sharpest reserved for the holes that had at one time held cuspids. When Ollie's fist was empty of rocks, the creature smiled and then gave his new teeth a test run, clacking the sets of stones together.
Oh yes, this will do most nicely indeed. Chomp, chomp.
Ollie, with some amount of pride, said with satisfaction,
You'll be able to crunch all the walnuts you like now.
He grabbed a large nut from his basket and handed it to the recently betoothed beast. In a flash, the nut cracked loudly between the creature's pebbly molars. A series of mms and nom-noms slowly became mms and meh-mehs, prompting the boy to look curiously at the now downcast furry companion.
You see, I do so much enjoy the crunch, and I am so grateful, and I couldn't possibly ask you for another favor.
Oh, please, do ask. I'm ever so eager to help.
You don't say, kind sir. Well then, the very best crunches are preceded by a wonderful chase. Perhaps you could throw a walnut for me?
His face soured as he lifted his cuffed hands.
Only, well, I wouldn't be able to chase them, would I? This is all well and good. I'm very satisfied as I am, a prisoner in want of a chase.
He sighed and developed what almost looked like sad puppy eyes. That is, if the puppy had no eyes.
Oh, to pursue the wild, wandering walnut like I used to.
The blanched head of the white tilted pathetically in the direction of a timber just outside its reach. Oliver was a good boy, and he was both observant and intelligent, though his trusting nature did the work usually left to suspicion. The boy thought a moment, and then exclaimed,
I've got it. I could use this stick to break this chain.
He scrambled around, muttering lever and fulcrum, placing a large rock here, placing the lumber across it, and into a hole of a link in the chain. On the far end of the wood, Ollie bounced and bounced until, with a snap, he went tumbling to the ground with an oof. The chain broke, releasing the 2 manacles with a serpentine movement from one eyelet to the other.
You're free!
Ollie exclaimed.
Let me throw some walnuts for you, a chase, and a crunch.
Kind sir, you have done far too much already. It's getting late, and you really should hurry on home, I presume.
Ollie had been so occupied with helping that he barely noticed the passing of time.
Yes, I should go. Granny might be getting worried. I'll leave the bucket for you, and I can throw them for you tomorrow.
The beast stretched as a runner about to set his toes in a starting block.
Oh, I don't think that will be necessary, kind sir. I've got everything I need. You dash along home, and you really ought to run. Don't keep your granny waiting.
Its neck cracking as its head stretched from right shoulder to left. Ollie waved and trotted toward Granny's house.
See you soon.
Oh yes, before you know it. Hurry on now.
Hooves stamping and champing. A deep inhale and exhale. With the confidence of a hunter shooting fish in a barrel, the creature thought to itself,
A bit of a head start would be more sporting, wouldn't it? Faster, kind sir.
So, I'm an allegory for what again?
Just, would you stop poking me?
You're so pokeable.
You're gonna wish that
Poke.
story was real
Poke.
if you don't stop poking me.
Poke?
"Don't make me
Nope.
stop the car and come back there."